you guys hear that music? You know what time it is. We are pumped up, you guys, because we got another live one for you. We got another locker room show, and we came to bring the heat every single Thursday, you guys. You can stop on by, check in with me and Q the Guru, and get your football fix. Now that the season's coming to an end, you guys got to get your football fix. You got to find out that information that's going to help you take it to the next level. So we've got a great one lined up for you guys tonight. But first, let me introduce my boy that holds me down on the other side of the defense every single Thursday. That's none other than Q, the Guru. What's going on, Guru?
Man, what's going on, Coach? How you feeling, man? We got another one. Man. So y'all, hey, let's go ahead and break the huddle, man, and go and get into it, man.
Let's get into it, baby. And I'm excited. I've known this brother for a while, and he's been doing his thing, you guys. He's been doing his thing. Came up in the San Francisco Bay Area, superstar football player, had some opportunities, and we're going to get into that. But he had to go through the back door a little bit. He had to go the junior college route. Now he's coaching and helping a lot of guys get to the next level, and that is none other than the great Devin Mays. What's going on, Coach Mays?
Nothing too much. Doing great. Doing good. How y'all doing? Doing real
great.
good.
Man, good. Yeah, ready to get it going, bro. Appreciate you coming on.
No, most definitely. Yeah,
all right. So let's get into it. I already see some people coming in the comment section, but if you're joining us for the first time, you guys, you're in the place to be, especially if you are a player, a parent, or a coach. You're definitely in the right place to be. And once again, we got a great show lined up for you tonight. Coach Mays is someone who had a great career, guy, at the University of Houston. Go Cougars. And then, you guys, now he's coaching at a big-time program, actually his alma mater in California, Stockton, Lincoln High School in Stockton. Actually, the alum alma mater of the great Brandon Cooks, you guys. So this school has produced a lot of talent. Coach Mays is helping guys get to the next level, and he's got a lot to share with us tonight, you guys. So excited about tonight's show. So let's get into it, Coach. You took the long route, because you had a lot of talent. I think you were thinking about going to Oregon right out of high school, but you had to make the move to junior college, to San Francisco Junior College. This is a powerhouse junior college in California. And talk to me a little bit, man, about just having your dreams delayed. Just tell us about what you went through with that process.
Yeah, the process, man, that process, being highly touted, coming out of Lincoln High School, myself, being one of the number one DBs in the area, and accepting the scholarship, signing on National Signing Day, and then having to, go junior college route. It was super humbling, real humbling. But if I had to say, I wouldn't did it any other way. Going to San Francisco City, it changed my whole perspective on the game. Being around Coach Rush, being in that organization, being around that brotherhood, that is so special. It's if I would say everybody would compare Frisco City to Alabama, that's the Alabama of JUCO football. So many championships, so much legacy, so much tradition. When you go there, it's no other. You have no other choice but to buy into what they have going on. So just going there and not being able to go to Oregon and humble me, and maybe so much more hungrier to be able to accept another scholarship there. So it was just it was a crazy experience. I signed to Oregon 2006. I had about 20 offers coming out of Lincoln. I had SC, Washington State, Oregon State, Cal, K-State, Nebraska. But I had narrowed it down. I had my top three was Washington, Oregon, and Oregon State. And I took my trip. My first trip was to Oregon. And I left. I was kind of uncertain once I left the visit if I was going to go there or not, because I did have USC. So USC is it's one of the meccas of California football. So when you hear USC, it's like, okay, man, I want to go to USC. Reggie Bush, and Dwayne Jarrett, and you see Matt Leinart, you see all that. So you want to go there, but I went to Oregon, and I just loved that camaraderie they had there, and that tight knit family. and being able to, focus, being in a smaller town. Eugene is a football town. So, it was kind of a tough choice, but I made that choice to, commit to Oregon, and I signed on National Signing Day there. So it was just, it was a good process in itself, but then having to deter and go to City was eye-opening, and it was super humbling for me. So yeah.
Did you ever have a moment, Coach Mays, where you felt down, like you were ready to give it up, or were you able to keep yourself pumped up for that?
Yeah,
man. So many times being at Frisco City, when you're going through the grind and you're not exactly where you want to be, and you seeing your guys that you came up with and guys you play against, on TV playing Division I, and you're not there.
Yeah.
It kind of stun you a little bit, but I stayed motivated. I stayed motivated because even being at City, there was light at the end of the tunnel. We knew that because we would have, LSU come in every week, Tennessee. You gonna see the big schools there too as well. So it was just about staying focused, staying on my grind, making sure, I was academically, ready to go when it was time to go, and just staying focused and going there and to complete the task at hand. So. It was so many times I wanted to just I would ask myself, why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through this?
Right.
And I could have quit and I could have gave up, but I was just so determined to, being able to reach my goals. So, yeah.
That's amazing right there. And that's big. You guys, you young athletes, make sure that you go to a school where there's some light at the end of the tunnel. Like Coach Mays said, go to a school where other guys are getting those offers, even if you have to go to a junior college, so you can stay pumped up. So thank you for sharing that. I see some people coming in the comments section. We've got Just Win Baby saying salute D Mays, the T. And we've got the great coach Eric Foss saying great night to learn and grow the business. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, Coach Foss. Definitely right there. So on to our next topic, you guys. And if you're joining us for the first time, we've got all of the topics right there on the table for you. So you know what we're getting into next. This one was one that definitely caught my attention. And I'm gonna bring it to you, Q, first, because I had a long cup of tea at Colorado, but my cup of tea only lasted 5 years. This gentleman right here, Cam McCormick, 9 years, you guys. This is going to be his 9th year that he got approved to play at the University of Miami. So I'll throw it to you, Guru. 9 years. Should it be a case-by-case basis, or should it be like a hard cut after 6 shots? You had too much at the bar, brother.
No, man. No. Pay attention, kids. You can stay in the college and play ball. You 37. No, really.
Right.
Right. No, listen. It's one of those things, fellas. If you can finesse the system and you can stay in college that long, I'm thinking he been there that long. That's enough time to really get your undergrad and your master's. Why not? Why not? If you can milk the clock and it works out that way, whether it's unfortunate injury or whatever the case may be, and the NCAA and the school allows you to do that, why not?
All right. So you got it there from the Guru, and he's coming from obviously the perspective of the young man who's at Miami, or a young man who's in college. Just milk it till you can. Let me ask you, Coach Mays, because you're working with high school kids, and maybe some of those kids are affected. Maybe the tight end right here was about to get the Scully, but my man want to go 9. He want to go 9 years. So what's your perspective of 9 years in college football?
Man, I seen that today earlier, and I was just like, man, it's definitely two sides to it. I understand, if you can milk that system, because that NCAA, they're gonna milk you if they get that chance. So Absolutely. You might as well be able to milk that situation as well, But then again, it's crazy too, because it's another side of that too, with those high school kids that trying to get recruited and want to go to Miami and play tight end up there, and he been there 9 years. It's like he dang near should be coaching. He should be coaching the guy.
Well, man, gotta be. He gotta be like
he should be coaching.
He got to
Yeah,
be like
family.
31, 32. Dude.
He should be coaching the position group at this point. Like, man, or you know, coaching, being a professor at the school because he's been there so long. But no, I definitely, if he was able to, he's able to milk that, and they just able to continue to give him eligibility. I mean, what can you do? I would,
Hey, I'm
I
telling
would,
you.
South Beach.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, who would want to leave that? Who would want to leave Miami? So it's just like, yeah, man, it's a sticky situation though too. With and then with the portal and everything else that go on, that's prohibiting the high school kids to getting looked at. So it's just like, man, it's two sides to it, but I understand. If they're gonna keep giving them that eligibility, man, if I'm him, I'm not leaving Miami either.
There you go.
I'm
Like,
he posted like Shaq in the paint, man. He going
nowhere. He love it, man. Man,
so hey,
the whole
this is a
city.
reality though. This is a reality for a lot of you, for a lot of you young athletes. Some of you guys, unfortunately, may get injured. All the leverage is with the college kids right now. Unfortunately for you, high school, junior college kids. But once you get to college, you got some leverage. I see the great Sadike Green joining us. Speaking of college, and this is a young man about to go off to college. Say, what's up, coach? And then great David Walker, thank you for joining us. Time for another great show. Yes, indeed, you guys. So very interesting. We're gonna check out Mr. McCormick, see if he twists an ankle late in the season. See what he did.
He's gonna twist his own ankle and get another 2 years.
Oh man, not another.
So there
not
you
10.
go.
Not
but
10.
speaking of you guys, the craziness of college football, because and we're joking around, but in all reality, we lived in a different and played in a different day and age than today, you guys. So you guys should be aware of what's going on. But this is another one: the coaching decisions where these guys are leaving, you guys, late in the recruiting process. We've already had the early period, guys committing at a transfer portal, and these coaches have already left. So just because of the Nick Saban retirement, we've had San Jose State get affected, Arizona, Washington, and now these kids are in limbo. Some of these kids that have signed up, you guys, with schools and now don't know if they're with the right school. So I want to ask you guys, and I'll start with you, Devin. Should there be a time limit or a deadline on when a coach can say, I'm retiring or I'm going to take this other job? Or should it just be, hey, I can do what I want?
Man, that's crazy because it's a sticky situation. I think it should be a timeline too. Yeah, because it ultimately affects the kids. Speaking of like the Alabama situation where the coach from Washington took the job, we have a guy from Lincoln, one of our former alums, Jonah Coleman. He was the running back up at Arizona. He started running back at Arizona, and he's now in the portal because his coach went to Washington and took the Washington job. Wow. So now he's in the portal, but from what I'm hearing with him, it's like now he's in the portal, everybody knows. So now he's fielding big offers too now from other schools. Right. So now he's in limbo. So it's like, okay, what did he do? But it's getting crazy. Yeah, because now with this portal and stuff happening, now it gives those kids, they get 30 days extra to decide if they're gonna stay at the school that they're at or if they're gonna leave. So it's like there should be some type of restriction for the coaches to let the NCAA know or let the school know if they're gonna stay or go for sure, because that ultimately affects everybody, even the recruiting. You commit to Arizona or you commit to Washington, and now your coach gone, and it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna take these guys because we're going to the SEC. So these guys don't necessarily fit, what we want to play in the SEC. So now it's all type of stipulations that come with that. So it's just like, man, there has to be some type of cutoff with that. And even
that's a great point. Go ahead.
Yeah, even with like Nick Saban too, I feel like with him, like the game is kind of closing in on him. He was the top dog for so long, but now you have this NIL and you got Deion Sanders and you got so many people changing the climate of the game. So it's like, okay, I need to get out now because this closing in on me. Georgia, they no longer getting all the recruits no more. Georgia getting some of
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Colorado getting, so it's a lot, so
yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's a
yeah.
great point right there.
True.
Q, what do you think, man? I mean, they're putting timelines on the transfer portal, and when these kids can transfer, should
Right.
there be timelines on when a coach can retire? Like, hey, man, if you didn't retire by this point, unless it's a catastrophe, you gotta stick it out.
Yeah, I know. I agree. It definitely needs to be a timeline because ultimately it's the focus should be more on the kids. And I think the more people are discussing the fact that how exactly all this shifting around and they're not putting in any parameters on these coaches, how exactly it is affecting the kids. These kids getting these opportunities to go play major D1 football, especially Power 5.
Mhm.
This is changing their lives and maybe their families' lives, depending on their talent level and them getting the opportunity to even go to the next level. So, I mean, it's you have to do something in regards to making sure protecting them and putting way tighter parameters on these coaches because man, right now they're just shifting around and like you said, they may be where hey, I might not take the same kids to San Jose if I end up in the SEC. Well, I might need a totally different breed of player to go down there. You see what I mean? So this particular wave of recruits that I'm that I put together, how does it affect them? Because they may not be a fit for where I'm going. Yeah, man, it's got to be something. And again, off that comment as well, that I can definitely 100% agree with you on that. That is 100% why Saban quit because now the playing field, and to me, I was kind of as competitive as he was always known to be. That kind of bothered me how he went out because now it's like, well, let's see you win it all when the playing field is level. Let's see you win it all when other people have the equivalent horses that you do down in Tuscaloosa. You see what I mean? Now he would
Agreed.
have to coach. You don't have to coach, and you got 74 and 5-stars. It ain't a whole lot of coaching you got to do. But now, because the playing field is equal, now you want to bow out and retire. So as much legacy as he built, that was this all out weak how he went out. Like I can't respect that at all, man. At least stay another year or two, and now that the NIL is in full throttle and see where the chips fall. You see what I mean? That way, at least if you don't win it all, you can take that on the chin and be like, well, hey, okay, I had to see, where I was at, like a true test as a coach. But for him to just walk away the easy way, I can't respect that. So I agree with you 100% on that.
Well, and the timing affected so many. I mean, that the timing, safe to say, definitely affected hundreds and maybe 1,000 people. When you think about the other schools and the recruits and the staff, and so very, very interesting times in college football. But hopefully, like you said, Q, they start protecting the kids and watch out for the kids. Timelines as well. We are on to our next topic, you guys, and I just had to go here. Having 3 defensive backs, 3 cornerbacks on one show. We had to ask this question. So obviously, think highly of these 2 gentlemen's opinion, but this is something that's subjective. This is everybody has an opinion on this thing, but who are your top 3 cornerbacks, gentlemen? Your top 3 cornerbacks of all time. Obviously, there's different style.
Any era.
You have some cornerbacks that might get up in your face. And now we won't go any era because some of the kids might not know the Lester Hayeses of the world. But let's say, gentlemen, for the sake of time, let's say from the 80s on up. Let's say from the 80s on up, all right? To be fair, but you got great people like this man. You got a little Revis action, a little Revis Island going on. You got the great Champ Bailey. People would consider Champ Bailey one of the best of the best. Maybe an OG, a little Daryl Green in your life. And then, of course, you got to look at the great Coach Prime, and the only Heisman Trophy winning defensive back and cornerback. So
that's tough.
let's do it. Let's rock and roll with this one, you guys. And I know you guys in the comments section might want to drop a couple of lines too, especially if Jimmy Rucker in here. So let's talk about it. We'll start off with you, Coach Mays, the DB coach right now. Give me your top
That's a
three.
long, tough list, man.
Man,
Other than Prime, that's a long, tough list.
We won't hold you to it because I know you're on the spot, so we won't hold you to it. But give me your top three off the top. So
if I got to go top three, oh man! But number one is always going to be Prime for me. Number one is Prime, man. Prime is number one just because he can get that. But when he get that ball in his hand, and he can lock, it's over. Touchdown. He's scoring every time. Every time he put him back there on punt return,
literally
put him on kick return. Put him out receiver. You can do everything. Yeah. Some of them other guys got that too, but he was just a little different. And then that swag, that energy he played with, him transcending that cornerback position and, making people want to. He's the reason I wanted to play corner, and I wore number 21 in high school prime time. So he's number one for sure. He's number one on the list. Yeah. My number two, I got to go. Man, this is tough. Number two, I got to go. I'm gonna give you Darrell Revis. I gotta go Revis Island. Okay. I love Revis. All right. I love Revis. I like Revis Island, man. I'll give him Revis because that him being able to shut down that side of that field and him just his focus, having laser focus, no matter the size of the receiver, none of that. He gonna be in your face. He gonna be in your face. He gonna follow you. He gonna switch sides and man, he's so transcendent to the game. That Revis Island, he's for sure a legend.
Definitely coming in with that.
Yeah, he used to stalk boys. He used to stalk.
Yeah, stalk. Yeah, he gonna stalk you down. Yeah, you knew when you was playing, he was gonna be in front of you, and he was gonna come out. If you go to the bathroom, he was gonna be there with you.
Right.
So and in number three, number three is gonna be tough. Man. It's tough. This word's tough because man, I love Champ Bailey. I love Champ. Champ is my guy, man. I grew up watching him, one of my favorite corners growing up. But I would have to go Charles Woodson over Champ. Yeah. Just because Charles Woodson he's so versatile. You could put him at the nickel, put him on outside, put him at safety. He won. He got a championship.
He's Charles, one of the highest decorated players.
Heisman winner,
any position.
Super Bowl winner,
any position,
any position.
Really, you think about it, he won a national
defensive player of the year.
Defensive player of the year, Heisman, Super Bowl champion, national champ. He's one of the most.
So much that come with him. Yeah, you with Charles Woodson too, man. Even in you could put him in front of anybody. He gonna shut that side of that field down. And he can go get that ball at a high level too, just like Deion. He can go get that ball. If that ball anywhere near him, he gonna pick it off. And Michigan, he played a little offense too. League probably played a little O too. But so I would have to go him three. But Champ close number three though for me. Daryl Green in there too. Yeah.
All right. Okay. That's a good list right there. We got some people. And then, of course, some people coming. I knew Jimmy was going to give us something. I knew Jimmy was coming in. He said Deion Sanders, Champ, and Charles. So he just switched your Revis Champ right there. Coach Fall says Woodson hands down. Hands down. Jimmy Rucker says and Ronnie Lott. Don't forget about it. He'll complete your secondary. RJ, the great RJ, who actually hooked us up. What's going on, RJ? Said Nnamdi gave up less than 10 catches in the whole season. That's very impressive. I wouldn't put him in this list, but that's very impressive. Coach Hughes coming in, and he's taking us back. He says Eric Wright holds it down for me. Eric Wright holds it down for me. Okay. So let's go, Q. I know you got definite opinions on this. What's the guru talking about?
Well, like my man said, we really only talking about 2 out of top 3 because Prime gonna be everybody's one. Man, this is a really, really tough list, man. It's been a lot of prolific corners, man. And I've studied the game. Even going all the way back to the 70s. I used to look at tape. But me, for my top 3, other than Prime, my second and third, I'm gonna go with Rod Woodson. Right?
Okay. Yeah,
right. I'm gonna go with Rod Woodson. What I liked about him, similar to what you were saying about Chuck, is the fact that he could play corner, and as he got older, he could still he could still play safety, and he extended his career by another 5 or 6 years and picked up a ring on the way out with the Ravens. So I got Rod Woodson on there. And then I
Deion and Rod. You got one more spot.
I got Deion and Rod, and then I got Charles Woodson as my third. Now, granted, if we had a little bit longer list, I would have Champ and I'd have Patrick Surtain right there at my 4 and 5. Right?
Wow,
okay. I mean, Pat Surtain, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But actually, I'm sorry. Actually, I'd have Champ, Revis, and then Surtain. So like I said, you really almost have to make a top 10, but that's my top 3, though. That's my top 3.
All right. So you got it right there. So they agreed on Deion. But Devin said he's going with some Revis action for number 2. And then Q, the guru, said he's going with you said Rod Woodson number 2?
Yeah, I got Rod Woodson, man.
He's going with Rod Woodson number 2. And then we got Devin going with the great Charles Woodson number 3. And then Q going with the great Charles Woodson number 3. So only one mix there. You can't go wrong. With that list, you can't go wrong, you guys. So that's a good one. And I had to throw that at you guys. We've got some people coming in. Eternal Fall says, D Mays, what's going on? And then Coach Fall's coming back again with Woodson overcame that injury too.
Yeah, after Barry broke him.
Yeah.
Was that Barry?
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely. Wow. Well, listen, folks. Listen, if you want to hear the story, go back to a few episodes and when we were interviewing Big Kirk, and Big Kirk could tell the story what happened. But you have to look back on a few episodes back. But man, Barry broke Rod down.
Okay, yeah, he's got a few bodies. Yeah, Barry got a few bodies.
Barry stories, they go on.
Barry wasn't playing.
Yeah, dude.
So we are on to our next topic, you guys, and thank you for having fun. I know I put you on the spot with that one, but thank you for that one. But we are on to our next topic, and this one was good. This one was one that I definitely want to throw at these gentlemen because every once in a while, you guys, you're going to have to fight from the bottom of the depth chart, or you're going to be the one that's counted out. And these gentlemen have been counted out before. And I wanted to ask you, underdog mentality, Devin. Some of these kids aren't hearing their phone ring right now. And they may have to go to junior college like you. Some of them, they see their teammates and their opponents getting love, but they're not getting the love. So I know you felt that in your life before and in your journey, your football journey. Can you tell us a time where you really felt like you were slept on, and what was your mentality during that time?
Man, I had a few. Actually, this is go back to like the beginning of my football, beginning of my football stages. Going to like being new to football, not having, because you play in the Pop Warner, and you try to make a name for yourself, and you trying to be one of the guys, because this is your dream. So going into high school, so my freshman year, I didn't play my 8th grade year going into my freshman year. So I just came in as a freshman, and I hadn't played that year before. So going in, pretty much I was being overlooked. I wasn't getting as much, look as I needed to or wanted to. I came in, I was going to grind. I knew I was going to grind. I knew I was, one of the most athletic. I knew I was, one of the best athletes on the team. But I had to make a name for myself. So any opportunity that I got, at any time at practice, whether it be at practice or whether it be anywhere, I made it a point, to establish myself, and establish that I was one of the more dominant players and one of the more better players. So even going into Houston, my coming from JUCO, coming out of Frisco City, I got there in the summertime. So, they pretty much, all those guys that was there, they played spring ball, they had been there, so going in, I had to establish myself. And being at City College, that kind of set me up for it, because, when you're at City, you're going to compete with the best. And going into Houston, it already had me, in that mode that I'm gonna have to compete, to get on that field. So it wasn't a smooth transition. A lot of times my junior year at Houston, I did get frustrated, sometimes because my playing time was kind of limited. But actually, I just stuck with it. I just kept grinding, showing up, making sure I'm studying, making sure when my number was called that I was, ready to play.
Yeah.
And more so than none, when I did get in there, I made, a huge impact. So that was, yeah.
That's big right there. Q, talk to me. Can you remember a time, man, where you were just feeling like, man, they don't see me, or I'm really being counted out, and you had to step up? Do you remember a time in your career like that?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I didn't, man. That's what I tell a lot of people, man. Like, I played a ton of baseball and soccer, man. I never played organized football at all until 10th grade, like at all. Right. So being in a powerhouse high school out of Hazelwood East, like we were, man, nationally ranked, on the same list with De La Salle and all these other, Odessa Permian, all these other powerhouses, man. It was like, well, how do you get on the field? And same thing you were saying, man. I knew, man, my athleticism and what I brought to the game. It's just that the more that I got used to playing football organized, padded up, after playing soccer, that's why I tell a lot of people, man, football, it was like it got easier and easier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like once I just started making plays, man, or whatnot, man, it just felt like I had been playing my whole life, But then, like you said again, it's like, okay, cool. Now you comfortable in high school, great, getting looks from school. Now you get fast forward to college, and obviously we were talking about coaches. I got recruited by, ultimately when I had to go to Kansas and chose them. Same thing happened with Glenn Mason. Ended up having to, leaving and going up to Minnesota. Now I got new coaches coming in. Now you got to prove yourself all over again.
Right.
Because the only guys that they know are the kids that they recruited. They, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're not already the man, they get there. And I'm an incoming freshman. You got to prove yourself all over again because they didn't recruit you. System of the game. A lot of times, especially kids, you younglies that are listening to this show tonight, that's gonna happen to you a lot. More than likely, unless you hit the portal. If you stay and you want to duke it out, which is totally fine, stay where you're at, but be prepared to have to prove yourself all over again when new coaches come in.
Good point right there. So hey, there you guys have it. I mean, you're very few of us go through a long football career without being counted out or without being Mr. Irrelevant. You guys, so, there's going to be a point in time where you're going to have to prove yourself, and you're going to have to believe in yourself when nobody else does. So hopefully you guys can take that to the bank. But what else you can take to the bank is that we are in the lightning round, you guys. We're in the lightning round. So this is our time. And right there, we are getting into the lightning round, but we get a chance to put our guests through a little bit of a gauntlet, you guys, a little bit of a 60-second word association drill. Now, this man was fast. He was a track champion in high school, played out on the freeway at cornerback in college, so he had some speed, but we're going to see if he got some speed with these questions tonight. So we are getting ready for the lightning round, and we're going to put the clock to 60 seconds. We got the stopwatch right there on Devin. And once again, if you're checking this out for the first time, this is a fan favorite portion of the show, and he's got 60 seconds, you guys, to tell us what's on his mind. Unfiltered, first thing that comes to his mind. And of course, we're going to keep it at least PG-13 with the great Coach Mays. So, Coach Mays, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Here we go.
All right. First thing that comes to Coach Mays' mind, he might have his wife watching, he might have some of his kids watching. We're going to see what he's thinking, all right? I think I got a pretty good list for him. And once again, he's got 60 seconds. Now, Coach Mays, we don't just do this for fun now. We actually got a meal on it for you. So if you can get to 15, you can get to 15 or higher, you get a dinner on the locker room show, okay?
Oh, let's go. Let's get it.
Choice locker room. He said, let's get it. So my man likes to eat. So let's get into it. Now, once again, if you're joining us for the first time, first thing that comes to his mind, and the secret number, the magic number is 15. Now, we're going to give him 1 for tech delay. Since we're not all in the same spot, even if he gets 14, y'all, he's in a good spot. So let's get after it. All right, the lightning round. First thing that comes to your mind, Coach. First thing that comes to your mind. Number 1, Lincoln High School. Go.
Tradition.
George Rush.
Great. Go.
Jordan Love or Jalen Hurts?
Jordan Love.
Barbecue shrimp or barbecue steak?
Barbecue shrimp.
Best player you ever played against?
Dez Bryant.
Favorite cake?
Chocolate cake.
Darrell Revis or Champ Bailey?
Revis.
Chili cheese hot dog or chili cheese nachos?
Chili cheese hot dog.
Lawrence Taylor. He's flying. Lawrence Taylor.
Go.
Erykah Badu or Lauryn Hill?
Badu.
Jim Kelly or Dan Marino? 55 seconds.
Dan Marino.
Yep.
Favorite ice cream?
Strawberry sherbet.
Time.
All right,
You might have got it. He was wrong.
We got a little humble LT. Look, I know what I thought, but we can't say what the kids on. I don't know. First one came over like, never mind.
No,
He
man.
was rolling though.
I should have went. Any given Sunday, I could have.
Man, bro, I know. You say LT or Michael Irvin, I know what's coming to mind.
Oh, man. That's the first thing I thought. It's a party. It's a party.
All right, let's add him up. Let's add him up, you guys, because he was rolling, so he might be close. You guys, the locker room show, the lightning round, you got to be quick on your feet, but Coach Mays was rolling, so let's add him up. And once again, keep in mind, audience, he gets 1 for tech delay. So even if he gets to 14, he's in the mix. So we're going to add him up, and then we're going to revisit some of these answers. So as we always do. So number 1 was Lincoln High. That's his old high school. And anybody watching the show, that's a little tip. If you're ever in the hot seat, you know I'm coming with your school first. So Lincoln High School is his old high school. That's 1. We got Coach Rush, his old JC coach. That's 2. We got Jordan Love for 3. We got barbecue shrimp on the 4. We got 5 with Dez Bryant. We got 6 with the favorite cake. We got 7 with the Darrell Revis. We got 8 with the chili cheese hot dog. We got 9 with Lawrence Taylor. We got 10 with Erykah Badu. We got 11 with Dan Marino. And then we got 12 with the strawberry ice cream. And then 13 with the tech delay. 13 with the tech delay. So the Lawrence Taylor, the LT
guy.
We needed one more. So,
man, I couldn't say what I wanted.
Right, I'm telling you.
So let's revisit. Let's revisit because this is a good list. Now, we said George Rush for number 2. That's his old JC coach. He said the GOAT. This is a gentleman that's like the Nick Saban of JC football. So right there, he's going with the Jordan Love. He said, I'm not going with the paid Jalen Hurts. He's going to go with the J Love. Hopefully don't beat the Niners this weekend. He's going with the shrimp. He's going with the shrimp on the Barbie over the steak. And then let's stop here. Best player you ever played against. You're going with Dez Bryant. Huh?
Yeah. Dez Bryant, man.
What made Dez so special?
Phenomenal player, man. His energy, man, how he commanded the field, how he commanded the game. I played him up at OSU. So when I was at Houston, my first year, going on to getting on the campus, we go up to OSU. They number 5 in the country. We playing Boone Pickens Stadium. And the man, how he commanded the field, how the stadium responded to him, it was crazy. It was like seeing like baby Terrell Owens out there. Yeah. Man, he a sophomore, he 215, 6'2", 215 muscle. Ain't no fat on him,
and run, right?
And can run. Yeah, he can run, showstopper, so how he commanded the field, it was just that was crazy. I'd never seen that before, But that energy that he played with, the energy that you can't teach that. That's something that's God given. He he definitely was one of the best players that I've seen and played against. Man, he was crazy watching him. So,
I
and
love it.
then
I love it right there. Go ahead.
and then what he did for the Dallas Cowboys too. His impact with the Cowboys is another thing. It's like, man, he did it. He transitioned from that college level and took it to the NFL.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Nice,
All-time great right there. And then we got he's going with the Dan Marino over to Jim Kelly, and then he said to Erica Badu over to Lauren Hill. We're getting into so he's got to go with Badu. We've got a few people joining in. The great Munoz from the Munoz family. He's out in Texas, the Munoz family, and they said what's going on. And of course, they got to see a lot of Des Bryant being in Texas right there. So great player. But we are on to our last section of the show, you guys. Thank you for rocking with us right now. Once again, I'm your host, Coach Terrence Wood, and you got Q the Guru and the great Coach Devin Mays. Played at Houston, great kick returner as well, you guys. So two position player, and then now he's coaching young DBs at Lincoln High School in Stockton, California. If you guys have a question for the great Coach Mays, please feel free. Our comment section is open. You guys can put in a comment or a question right now. But Q, I know you got a good question for Coach Mays.
Definitely, Coach. What I wanted to ask you was, with you in the road that you had to travel, maybe you can kind of give some sauce to the young players. And I've mentioned this before about the importance of ACT and SCT preparation and utilizing any tutors, any of your teachers, and constantly being in contact and working with your counselor to make sure that you're ready to go, man, in regards to, transition into school.
No, yeah, definitely. That's a major part of the whole process. That they sometimes they talk about it, but sometimes they don't. ACT and that SAT, man, that's a huge thing. In the higher your grade point average, the higher that or the lower you have to score. So that's why it's important to make sure your core classes that you keep your grades up so that you don't have to score as high. So and that was something that I learned on the road. I didn't necessarily know I was going to be highly recruited. Going into my freshman and sophomore year. So it's not that my grades were bad, but they weren't the best that they could be. But as I started catching traction, I got my first offer. It was actually a track offer, like my sophomore year. So I was a two-sport athlete. So I got a track offer from UCLA. And then once after that hit, it was up from there. I started getting football stuff coming in, track. So it was a mix. Like, what do you want to do? So it was like, but it's super important to make sure your SAT and you are getting that you're making sure your grade point average is high, so you don't have to score as high on your ACT and your SAT, and making sure you take full advantage of the preparation. You can go on YouTube and find stuff about the test. So use your resources to your advantage so you can make sure that you do succeed, and you don't have to go the JUCO route if you do have a scholarship sitting there waiting for you, because it's hard to get these scholarships now, man. This portal and everything that's going on in the climate of college football, man, it just changed the whole dynamic of the game. So let's make sure you stand on top of everything that you can do to make sure you're able to accept one if you do get one. So.
Right. No, that's big advice right there. And he said the core grades too, you guys. Some of these schools aren't taking as much a factor into the SAT, ACT with COVID, but some of them are. The needs-based schools, the Ivy Leagues, some of them are. But that core, they're all looking at that core GPA. So you guys definitely keep that in mind. The great Glenn Hames, thank you for joining us. He says, Happy New Year's, fellas. Love y'all. Make it happen in 2024. We definitely will, Glenn.
RJ Jones. I'm sorry, Coach. I mean to interrupt. I see a question from RJ Jones. No, AJ, no. Actually, no. AJ went to Hazelwood Central. Matter of fact, he's at actually the same high school as my man Cortland Johnson, actually, to play with Coach T. So Hazelwood East. So few names you might know, like Jamar Fletcher, that won the Thorpe out of Wisconsin. Reggie Germany, Super Bowl champ Brian Fletcher, to play tight end at UCLA. We were all on the same team out of Hazelwood East, so that was our squad.
Good question right there. And RJ, dear friend of Devin and myself, and he played at Missouri, Q.
With AJ. Yeah, AJ played. Yeah, it was nice.
So
AJ was nice.
Good deal there. And then we got the great coach Glenn Haynes joining in. He says, question: the transfer portal has made it difficult for high school athletes to get recruited. What are you sharing with your athletes?
Oh man, so what I'm telling them right now is, man, you got to grind, man. It's a grind. You got to put your best foot forward every time you step on that field, man. Because what you show on film that can ultimately determine if you get a scholarship or not. Because why is it? It's like now you're not just competing against all the players in the country. You competing against the portal guys. Guys coming from Division II. They're there already. So you have to put your best foot forward every time you step on the field. Make sure you're doing everything that you can do to put yourself ahead. I'm lifting weights. I'm not taking days off. My core grades and my classes, I'm doing everything that I can do in my classes. And even if you get a smaller offer, sometimes you can take that offer, man, and prove yourself there and go to the next level and go jump in the portal. Because that's huge. I got a coach, a dear friend, coaching he's at a D2 now. He was telling me, I sat down with him not too long ago, and he was telling me Duke came and got a D2 O lineman from D2, and he jumped in the portal, and he jumped in that portal and ended up going Division I, because he proved himself D2, so it's important that you putting your best foot forward, but you also can start small. D2 can be a stepping stone for you, or D1 AA or whatever it may be, so don't never count none of that stuff out. Make sure you take everything into consideration and put your best foot forward, because the competition is crazy right now for these scholarships.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. Actually, you know what? And actually, I have another question for both of you all. What do you all feel like for a high school player? Because I just kind of piggybacking, that was a great question. What do you feel like is the importance of which high school you go to now? Because see, like for example, Coach T, you went to a private school. Out Hazelwood East is a public school. And obviously we see now a lot of these public schools, some of them obviously Houston, a lot of schools in Texas and California, are kind of different creatures. But, depending on where you're at, you're seeing a lot of the 4 and 5 star kids that should be, according to maps, going to public schools that are being recruited and going to private schools. So how important is it, or what do you do maybe for parents that are listening? Hey, my son, I know he's a 4 or 5 star killer. Do I let him go to this private school versus continuing the path at this public school?
No, that's a great question right there. Devin, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's sticky, man. I would say too.
Because you're at a public school now.
I'm at a public school,
exactly.
And I tell the guys I tell the guys that I have, it's crazy because the school that I'm at a public school, but we have a really strong tradition of guys guys out at that next level.
Right.
So just our luck, we have a tradition of guys being recruited, highly touted guys coming out of the school, that we still get that look. We have a running back now, Jordan Thomas. He ran for 2,000 yards. He's a junior. He was a junior. He'll be a senior this upcoming year. He's highly touted. He got about 10 offers right now.
Yeah.
But so the guys that don't have offers, I'm telling them, you have to piggyback off what he's doing. When those colleges come to see him, you have to make sure you perform, because you can eat off him, and that's how the game goes.
LeBron James.
You can eat off the top guy, so that's important. I would say too, like if you're at a public school and you guys don't get this much publicity, it might be good for you to transfer over and go to a school that got some guys that's getting looks to put yourself on that playing field, because it's crazy competition right now, man, for a scholarship right now. It's not the climate we came up in, to get one. It's way different now, so.
Because public schools back in the gap, public schools were about neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? And everyone just went to where you live and had your community. But now, man, it's a different ball. Like I said, I mean, it's blessed that you're in a program like that, or like down here in Houston. Obviously, you got North Shore, you got Katy, you got De La Salle. That's a public school. So you still have public schools, man, that are prolific programs that are still cranking out a lot of kids, man. But that's rare in a lot of cases. A lot of public schools, they're not what they used to be because of so many of their great players that are zoned to go there are getting sucked out of the program to go to private schools, man. So like you said, it's a different ball game altogether.
Yeah, and that's what I would say too. Is exactly what Coach Mays said. You guys, you gotta it's not the same. So you can't just say my friend's going there, so I'm going there. You guys got to. Here's one of the tall tale signs that you can always look at. Look at where you want to go. So let's say in California, I want to go to Cal Berkeley. Has anybody from the previous year at your school, or maybe even 2 years before, gone to a school of that nature? Maybe they didn't go exactly to Cal Berkeley, but they went to a Pac-12 level school. If nobody year after year has ever gone to a school like the one you want to go to, well, then maybe there's a sign. Is that might be difficult?
So that's a good point, T. But the reason that's a great point is because a lot of times you have parents, or sometimes dads that they want their kids. They're right, and I went here,
and I went here
87, so he going here too, and it's how times have changed. So parents keep in mind, man, that you have to make sure that your kid is in the best position in order for them to shine, in order to get an opportunity. Like Coach Devin said, man, the game has changed. These kids are staying longer in college and plugging up opportunities. And then you got the portal, so it's harder and harder for high school kids to go D1 straight out of high school, man. It really is. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's also this is good because I see the Munoz family and Ernest and Lisa, Marco, love you guys. But saying the Munoz family situation, and I'm glad you put that, Ernest, because it's all about your family situation. What may be right for this kid may not be right for this kid. This kid may be able to do okay at the public school. This kid may not, So it's what's up for your family situation. We selected private school that's equally talented in sports and high academics. So, that's very particular for their type of kid. Marco is a very particular type of kid, smart classes than a public school. So thank you for sharing that. So, hey, great information tonight. Once again, you guys, this is information. We don't bring in people here guessing. We don't bring in armchair quarterbacks. We bring in people that have lived it. This is a gentleman that has went through the recruiting process twice. Now he's helping other people with it, and he's got the sauce for you. So, Devin, we definitely appreciate you coming in, brother. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it. Had a great time.
Absolutely, man.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So, hey, there you guys have the great Devin Mays and Q. I mean, every week, man, we're bringing in things, dude, that they're not going to get from Sports Center. They're not going to get from Fox Sport. They maybe not even getting it from their coach. Every week.
Now you're not gonna get this from Corso and Herb Street. So y'all might want to tune in. Because we're gonna hit home, right? Yep. This isn't all about entertainment. We're giving sauce that's hitting home. It's something that we're giving you subject matters that you're gonna have to sit down with your son and sit down on the kitchen table and hash this out over a bowl of cereal, because it's life. In this world that we call football, these subject matters are real, man, and they're gonna come up sooner or later. So we're here to guide you around potholes week to week.
There you go. So we're your insurance, your football insurance, just like Geico, baby. So make sure that you come back and they're not giving us any money. So I'm
they need to. They need to pay us.
So hey, every single week, every single week, come back. We're going to have another special guest for you next week. Come get your football fix. Come get your football game so that you can take your game to the next level. Q, anything for the good people before we get out of here, man? We got NFL playoffs. We got off season for the high school. We got the college guys. Think about draft. Anything good for the people?
Man, it's always something going on. Just make sure and tune in next week because you never know who we got. But hey, it's the off season. It does not stop. It does never stop. And it's back to work. It's back to work. But we're going to be here for you next week. So y'all make sure and tune in.
There you go. And the great Jimmy Rucker says great information for parents. So yes, indeed. Thank you for always rocking with the Jimmy. So, hey, we are going to let you guys go. Have a magnificent evening. Thank you for stopping through. Tell all your friends, tell your teammates, tell your coach that the Locker Room Show, you guys, is here to serve. We're here to serve the football audience. Grow this community with us. We invited you to the party, baby. Grow this community with us. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share, and tell everybody that you know about the Locker Room Show. We love you guys. We'll definitely see you at the top. Have a good one.